Hello, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here. My name is Shihan He, and I am a machine learning engineer at Novo Nordisk. The title of my today is From Signal to Solution, Bridging Predictive Machine Learning Models to Gen AI to Maximizing Patient Reach. So in the world of AI, we often get caught up in the how. So for our developers, the architecture, the parameters, the latency. But today, I want to talk about the who, specifically the individuals we call the invisible patients. These are people suffering from undiagnosed or misdiagnosed conditions, currently unconnected to the therapeutic offering that could change their lives. My goal today is to show you how we bridge the technical innovation of AI with real operational impact to find these patients and accelerate their access to care. So before we begin, a brief but important note. The perspective I'm sharing today are based on public data, my personal research, and my own professional opinions. They do not represent the official views, policies, or strategic direction of Novo Nordisk. This is a session for us to explore the future of our industry as a community of practitioners. Thanks. Okay, let's start with the hard truths. In life science industry, we have entered a new era of capital intensity. We're seeing continuous breathtaking therapeutic breakthroughs, from mRNA to cell and gene therapies. But achieving scientific excellence is only half the battle. Achieving commercial excellence is a critical success factor for ensuring a return on investment. And more importantly, for ensuring that this life-saving treatment actually reach the patients they were designed for. If we innovate in the lab but fail in the commercialization, we have failed the patient. We need to look at the commercialization not as marketing, but as access infrastructure. The stakes have never been higher. Look at the numbers on your screen. The industry is committing tens of billions of dollars to expansion. CapEx grew 13% annually between 2022 and 2024. And by 2030, we're looking at over 150 billion in new projects. This massive investment demands a new level of operational speed and efficiency. We're launching therapies into a crowded, expensive market where every day of delay carries a massive financial and human cost. We need a way to justify this capital outlay by ensuring our commercial engines are running at peak performance. So, in this environment, time has become the core competency. We're pursuing capital excellence. Yet the reality is sobering. 95% of life science projects do not meet their original authorized cost and schedule. We are an industry plagued by delays. Shortening project life cycles isn't just a luxury for the bottom line. It is how we reason about the competition. We must shift from the traditional product-driven approach to a time-based capital strategy. We need to be faster, but we also need to be smarter. But speed alone isn't enough because the market itself is resisting. We're facing sluggish acceptance for new products, and our product mix is shifting. The era of blockbuster drug, the mass market pill for millions, is being replaced by specialized niche therapies. These new products often take years to scale up to profitabilities. Traditional marketing models are becoming obsolete because they were built for a different world. We must fundamentally transform our go-to-market strategies to find the needle in a haystack, not just throw more hay at the market. So this brings us to the core of our solution. Generative AI is projected to unlock the highest value in the entire pharmaceutical value chain. It is the only tool we have that can solve the speed to market imperative by accelerating the middle work of commercial processes. So look at this projected value, 18 billion to 30 billion in annual value for the commercial function alone. This is the highest range across the entire chain, surpassing R&D and clinical development. So this absolutely tells us something profound. The most significant and immediate impact of AI is not in how we find molecules, but in how those molecules are marketed, adopted, and delivered after they are approved. This is commercial gap, and AI is a bridge. And let's look at our primary channel, the sales engagement in most important in commercialization. So more than 60% of physicians now maintain extended restriction on sales rep access. So the impact of a standard rep detail the traditional sales page drops significantly after launch. Why? Because our customers have changed. By 2025, 75% of the clinicians' workforce will be digital native millennials. Over 50% of our interactions are now remote or hybrid. Physicians are demanding on-demand, responsive, and clinical grade information. They don't want a generic sales page. They want a personalized solution that helps them solve a specific patient challenge. So where do we start? Industrial visibility. We see three core pillars. First one, most importantly, strategic intelligence, which we need to manage the insights and the personalization at scale. Second, we see content velocity is important as well. This can ensure the compliance while moving at the speed of the digital market. And third, the sales force efficiency. We need to support our reps to be more effective in the field. But most organizations are stuck in the pilot phase. They have a chatbot or AI assistant here or a summary tool here. But what we need is a scalable, integrated AI framework. Commercialization organizations are currently burdened by rising complexity and fragmented internal processes. We're depending on manual workflows and legacy systems to solve this. I propose we move towards agentic AI. This isn't just about chat. Agentic AI is about a system that can automate time-consuming activities and unlock new capabilities like real-time insights and automated MLR review. So over 5 years, we're looking at up to an 8% revenue increase and 9% reduction in spending. This is where technical innovation meets real operational impact. Now let's look at how this changes the day-to-day of our teams. Agent AI redefines representative engagement. It handles the admin, for example, the pre-call planning, the data synthesis, and the post-call follow-ups. By automating these tasks, we reduce the rep burden by like around 50 to 25%. This is critical because it gives our reps the capacity to engage in the high-value clinical discussions that physicians are actually asking for. But how do we make that engagement press? This is the engine I want to introduce today. So please take a moment to look at this architecture. So on the left, we start with our data sources. We're ingesting massive streams of real-world data, which is medical claims, referral burdens, and ICD code blocks, etc. This is raw, unstructured patient journey data. So the modular one is our predictive engine. This is the precision identification layer. Here we apply predictive machine learning models to perform pattern recognition on longitudinal patient records. We're looking for the invisible patient. We identify the clusters of symptoms and referrals that signal a high probability of a specific undiagnosed condition. So the module one here helps us to identify the signal. But the signal isn't a solution. We then pass the clean, validated insight into module two, the generative agent. This is the actionable engagement layer. So module two takes the technical signal and uses agentic AI to transform it into a field-ready asset. It creates a personalized engagement kit tailored for a specific healthcare provider. It says, based on the clinical gaps in your specific territory, here is the relevant data to help you identify and treat the specific patients. It's get more smarter, more personalized insights given to our reps. So we're moving beyond traditional marketing. We're using predictive machine learning model to find the patients and generate AI to connect the patient to the therapy. This is precision identification in action. To visualize the impacts, let's look at this through a funnel. At the top, we have the noises, millions of data points from patient's journey. In the old mode, we would try to market to the top of this funnel using generic messaging. It was inefficient and ineffective. Our framework changes this. Module 1, the predictive model, acts as a safe. It filters out the noises and detects the red flags. It isolates symptom clusters and identifies high confidence clusters of invisible patients. As we move down the funnel, module 2, generate AI part, takes those profiles and creates context. It generates the engagement kits and the complex ready messaging. The result is at the bottom, connected patients. We have accelerated the diagnosis. We have uncovered the invisible. We have delivered life changing outcomes. This funnel represents the shift from raw noises at the top and to human impact at the bottom. This dual model approach also revolutionized our marketing. We moved to content velocity. Marketers can use AI to produce self serve content independently, reducing reliance on agencies and cutting timelines. A real breakthrough is automated pre-MR by using AI to identify common compliance issues before the human review. We slash cycle times. We become more responsive to market changes, ensuring that the right message reaches the doctor when the patient is actually in their office. In strategic operations, we shift the focus from manual work to high value execution. AI can automate the first pass drafting of the brand plans, contracts, and regulatory summaries. It provides synthetic, real time insights for executive decision making. We're optimizing our vendors and our internal talent to focus on strategy, not synthesis. We're building an organization that thinks and acts faster. But to do this consistently, we need a blueprint. We have to move beyond fragmented pilots. A scalable framework established the foundation of strategic alignment, robust governance, and integrated technology. This is how we deliver transformative value at enterprise scale. It's not just about one smart model, it's about a system that works across the entire portfolio. So deployment becomes an important part. It's about moving to production with confidence. We need to deploy AI agents that can orchestrate themselves across functions. So using the tools like one I showed here, a modern large language model mesh AI hub can help us to manage the complexity. We can see how an agent searches a knowledge bank, calls another models, and sends a message. This transparency is what allows us to scale with trust. And trust is the word of the day. We must embed safety from the start. So this functionality help us to unleashing agents requires the right guardrails. We need governance frameworks that ensures our interactions are compliant and responsible. We need to be able to show our regulatory teams exactly how our AI is making its decisions, and governance isn't an obstacle. It's a license to innovate at scale. Finally, I want to mention that we need to also always focus on the quality of our framework. So we need to put the performance review here. We troubleshoot with confidence using built-in monitoring and observability function here. You can see from the tree-based dashboard here, we're able to trace back to every function we write into our framework. And every framework function here, we have a metrics to run in the scenarios every day to track the healthy status of our whole systems. So looking at this trace explorer, it shows the thought process of the AI. If you see any of the metrics shows an outlier or shows some red flags, that means an agent is making mistakes. So we can see from this tree-based graph to see what exactly happens from where the logic is failed. So this level of observability ensures that our commercial framework remains a trusted asset, not a black box, which also help our AI to gain the scalability among the whole organizations. And last, I want to mention, we do see when we try to implement this, we meet a lot of concerns and a lot of discussion within our AI consoles. And we must be honest about the risks. The introduction of agentic AI into our pharma healthcare industry requires us to update our risk taxonomies. We face change, vulnerabilities, and potential data leakage. That's something we have to admit. But here's the most important point. The lack of control over autonomous AI agent actually ensures a long-term demand for the professionals like us. So that's where our SME experts like us comes in. We are here to help the whole organization to build trust to AI system, to show them the visibility, and to make sure we have a robust control into this high-stack system. So we aren't being replaced by AI. We're being elevated to architecture of AI trust. Alrighty, so I believe we do cover a lot today, from capital pressure of the beginning of the industry and to the end, to the invisible patients, how we identify them and make sure they have access to the correct treatment. And I'll also show the dual module engine details, how to find them. And I'd love to hear your thought and the questions on how we can implement these frameworks in your own therapeutic areas as well. And I do want to encourage everyone with last sentence here. Let's shape the future of commercialization together. Let's turn raw data into life-changing connections. Thank you for your time. And I'm Shihan He. Please reach out to me on LinkedIn if you'd like to continue this conversation. I'm looking forward to connect. Thank you.